episode of OTA. It's your host, Big Bro Dev G. I got my super producer, Miss Portia Royale, and we got a special guest for you guys. Today, we're going to talk about would you date outside your race? This is going to be part 2, and you know how we do. We like to take the topic, break it down, give you another way of thinking about situations because everybody thinks about things one way, but what we do here at OTA, we break it down and just give you alternative ways of thinking. All right, so we're gonna bring in Miss Kim, and we're gonna ask Miss Kim, how you doing and where you from?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm actually in Kuwait right now. I'm in Salwa in Kuwait. That's the city that's here, but try to make it sound big, but it really ain't no bigger. It's smaller than Los Angeles, okay?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All the way from Kuwait, y'all. All right. Now tell us, in your life, was there ever a point in time where you felt obligated to only date a black man?
I never really felt that I had to only date a black man. I never really felt that, but within myself, I would feel like I was betraying my race or something like that. When I was younger, probably like in high school or something like that, I felt like that. But being that I lived in the suburbs,
okay.
It was kind of like an okay thing. It was like that's what was available, was maybe just a few blacks and mostly white.
Right. Okay, all right. So when was your first encounter dating outside your race? Can you remember that?
I'm gonna tell you a story. I ain't never told this story to nobody before.
Get the goods.
I didn't. There was this one guy that he was in. I was probably like in around about maybe 9th or 10th grade, something like that, and he was like 12th grade. He was a senior.
All right.
And he was like, his name was Steve Vanderbilt.
You remember his name too?
Yes, I'll never forget. His name was Steve Vanderbilt. And I just thought he was the most gorgeous white boy ever.
Was he the star quarterback?
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
he was, but he wasn't your typical like little guy. He was like really buff, like a bodybuilder type of guy. And we used to always, back then, when there wasn't a house on the lot, because this was like a development area that I lived in. So they hadn't finished building all the houses and everything yet. And we used to play softball in the vacant lot.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, it was like routine, almost like an everyday thing. And he would come after practice and we would always be on the same team. So I could tell he liked me and I liked him, but it was almost like it was taboo to even because of how popular he was. So, that was like my first experience of actually even looking into dating somebody that's outside my race.
I got you. And today now, would you date outside your race, or are you dating? Are you married?
I'm actually married outside my race.
Really?
Yeah.
And what race is he?
He is Afghan.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you definitely have had experience. And do you feel comfortable? Like when you guys are out, do you get that backlash or that, attitude from other like black women?
Not so much over here. I was married to a white man before he passed with cancer. He had cancer and he passed. But when I was married to him, I could remember, kind of feeling like people were staring more than that because in the early 2000s, that it was okay for a black man to date a white girl, but it wasn't okay for the black woman to date the white man. Believe it or not.
I saw that.
It wasn't said,
Right.
it wasn't anything that was spoken, but you kind of felt it.
Yeah, you can feel people's energy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a huge issue.
Yeah, because I was talking to Miss Portia in our in part 1 segment, and I was just saying, like, when I would date white girls, I would get the evilest eyes from black girls. It's like they feel like they own you because you're a black man, and they do not like you dating outside your race. But I feel like, I mean, you dated a white guy and you're married to an Afghan guy. So I feel like you love who you love. People grow on you. It doesn't matter what color anybody is, and we got to stop focusing on color. Like, how did you transition from dating a white guy to just go ahead and dating an Afghan guy? How did that happen?
Well, it turned out that, like you said, you fall in love with whoever you fall in love with. But I'm going to kind of back up a little bit and start talking about why would I even have the thought of even catching my eye on someone like that. I'm going to be real with you. Okay. As you see, I am Portia's mother.
Right.
But you see, we are two different colors.
Right.
Okay. And that's intentional. That's intentional. When I went to school, everyone made it seem, and this is not just in the suburbs, when I went in the suburbs, this is when I was going to elementary school. It seemed like the darker that you are, they made it seem like it's not a nice color.
Right.
And I fell into that. When I was younger, I was like, I'm going to make sure that none of my kids are my color. And I was true to that. I have 3 kids and none of them are my color.
That's deep.
It's more like I didn't date white men, but I dated men that were a lighter shade than me.
Yes.
Okay. And that kind of spun into like, hey, you should be with whoever you want to be with, whoever's going to treat you right. And it really kind of spun into that I had all my kids, and then I was like, okay, now I can date a white person. It's like I didn't want a kid by a white man, but I wanted them to have the lighter skin. So I really pushed that all the way to the edge, but just not white.
Right. I got you. I got another question.
Yeah, I know that's a traumatizing thing. It's a traumatizing thing, when people make you feel like your color is not a nice color, and you don't want no kids to be your color, because then they're going to experience what you went through in school.
Right. So
that's really how I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Now, do you feel like with your husband today, is there a culture shock at all? Like, I mean, do you guys cook the same foods? Do you like,
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely. I am blacker than black when it comes to food, okay? I love my soul food.
All right.
I'm from the South. I'm from Louisiana.
Okay.
So, I grew up with soul food, Creole food. That's my heritage. And he grew up in Kuwait. So he's always eaten Arabic food.
Okay.
So when it comes to like cooking, there's a few dishes that I can make. But
Okay.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. His mother stayed in Kuwait all her life,
Okay.
up until probably like around about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. No, it's been about 5 months now.
Okay.
She moved to Canada with her other son, and she would always be the backup cook. I completely lost that. And I really feel like in these last like 5, 6 months that, I don't even know what to cooking. It's like, what do you want to eat? But the way that things are here in Kuwait, they have this one delivery service. It's called Talabat.
Okay.
And if I was in America, I swear I would want to start it up just like that, because what they do is that they have delivery from every restaurant here.
Wow.
Every restaurant here. The culture here you need to know a little bit about is that, the Kuwaitis don't really cook. I'm not saying all of them.
Right.
Most of them. 99.7% of them are not cookers, okay? They have maids and stuff like that they have cook recipes and stuff. I was actually I have a sister that's from Morocco that lives here. She's my close friend, so close that she's my sister. Okay.
Right.
And she was telling me, because I was telling her the other day, I was like, I think I might need to get a maid.
No, okay. All right.
And she was like, oh, okay, well, what you need? I says, I think I need a maid to cook.
To make the dishes, right.
Yeah, to cook for me, because, like I said, that
so there's not a manual.
Mother moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
and
can't
she was
learn
like,
that.
oh, okay. So really, that's what she's working on currently right now, is trying to find a maid for me. That she's like, do you want them to live with you, or do you want them to just come in, do their thing, and leave? I says, I think I kind of want them right now just to come in and do their thing and then leave. I really don't want the responsibility of another body in the house. Even though we got the space for it, but I don't want another person to actually live with me, because then I'm responsible for all of their needs, almost like it's a kid, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she was like, oh, okay. So I'm probably gonna have a maid in about another day or so. Because I just talked to her yesterday.
So there's no soul food places there then? There's no way to get.
There's no soul food places for real. No, nobody don't have to do no soul food here. and they don't sell it. Like, I can't go to the store and just buy some turnip greens or some collard greens or some mustard greens. I can't just run. I can get some kale. But I can't get all those things. And of course, this is a Muslim country, so there's no pork. So you can't do no greens without no pork. Let's keep it real.
So how does he feel?
Damn hogs. Come on now. Come on.
So how does your husband feel? Like, how does he do you guys ever sit down and talk about like your backgrounds and stuff like that? Like, does he understand the Black woman, or are you constantly teaching him like our values
That's a very good question. No, I'm not constantly teaching him the Black woman. I think that he's learning through trial and error.
Ah, okay. Okay, that could be a little sticky. Whoops. Sorry, man.
But I really think it's not really about that. It's more about me. He's
Got
learning me
it. Yeah.
because see, I'm different than a lot of other black women, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
When you talk to me, if I never said, you would never even think I was married to a white man.
Right. Right.
Just being honest, just
Right.
being honest. You
That's
would
what's
never
up.
even think that I was even married because you
Right.
know when I'm talking, it just doesn't. I don't make that line
Right.
and there is one. There
Right.
is one,
Right.
but I don't. I float across it
Right.
quite easily,
I got
you
you.
know. And it may a lot of that has to do with me being older now. I'm
Right.
not young, so I've really learned to not care about what other people may think about me and
Right.
what they, oh yeah, she's with a white man, and
Yeah.
before, younger, I would probably like cringe and be like, oh, feel very uncomfortable. Where
Yes.
now you say it now, I'm liable to get at you.
Right.
Need
Right.
some heat.
I love it. I love
Um,
it. So you agree? It's like it's not about color. It's
it
about
really isn't.
connecting with other people. It's about having that chemistry and loving the person within, not the color.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like like you said a moment ago, when he's learning me,
Right.
not really black culture or black women, because we're all different. You have a white woman sitting right there and she'll come off like she's a
Right.
black woman.
Right. It's
And
because of the
then
time spent. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
depending on what she or who she's been around,
Yeah. Right.
you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, just it's more of a American and Middle Eastern thing.
That's right. That's right.
That's really what we're learning, that it's like wow, wow. And it's
Yeah.
like don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype.
America's a powerhouse now. I'm not gonna take that away from her.
Right.
She's a powerhouse,
Right.
but
Right.
you have to understand that I'm just Kim. I'm not America.
Right.
I'm just Kim.
Right on.
I'm
Right
American, but
on.
I'm just Kim. Because if you really think about the American part for me being black,
Right.
no.
Right.
I was telling him, I was like, you would most likely have or get more things than I would, and I've been there all my life.
Right.
I was like, why do you think that people come to America from the Middle East, Indians or whatever, and they own your church's chickens?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
own your 7-Elevens.
You're right.
Where I can
100%.
even, look, I asked for a loan, I'm gonna have some problems, but they can't even present you with a social security number.
Right.
I'm just
That's so.
saying.
Hey,
I'm
you
just
right.
saying.
You right. You right. You right, Miss Kim. I got one last question for you.
Okay.
So you said you have children, right? I know
Yes.
Miss Portia does not date outside her race. Do you have any advice for her?
Um, I'm gonna tell Portia the same thing I've always been telling her. You love who you love. Try not to be closed-eyed, but want what you want.
Right on.
Want what you want, but don't be closed-eyed, because you never know. The kindest, most special person that God has for you may not be in the color that you want them to be.
Wow. That is beautiful. That was beautiful. Well, I want to thank you, Miss Kim. I want to thank my producer, Miss Portia Royale. I want to thank all the viewers. And I like to always end with a message. My message of the day, because there is so much mental health issues going on, I want to tell everyone, if you see someone in need, say something, do something, help them. Do not sit back and pretend like it doesn't exist. Everyone needs somebody. So help them. Be there for them. Call someone. All right? We want to thank y'all for joining us at OTA. Click that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode. We out. Peace.